The big news, though, is apparently Carson Beck is just slanging meat, Kieran. He's hanging dog.
Can we say that on this?
Yeah, I haven't said a bad word. I'm
I
talking
mean,
about
you're
his
right.
penis. They're eating the dogs, Kieran, in Tuscaloosa.
They're eating the
Do you
dogs.
know that?
They were
They're
eating
the dogs.
Oh, a meth raccoon.
Yeah.
Just awful. There is nothing good about this. It's the worst possible scenario for the CFP, for the national championship.
Notre Dame is a mid-program with really good marketing.
And the Michigan players are going to look at that, and anybody who's committing to Michigan in the next years will just go, I want to beat them even more. Like, I wanted to beat them when I first came to this school. Recruits are going to see this.
And we're also sorry that you have to watch a Brian Kelly coach football team. We can only imagine how difficult that must be for you, knowing that you're not going to win a big game ever with him as your coach, and that you're rooting for a child murderer.
This podcast has gone off to a really weird start, but I like it.
I love it, though. I'm a big fan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back another week closer to the college football season. Kieran, how you doing?
Good. We'll be getting progressively more excited as the days tick down.
That's true. I don't know. I'm always excited about college football.
Right, but the start of the season is better than the off season by any metric.
That's true. The draft is tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you a draft person?
I am if I'm interested, draft person. I'm interested in, like, I'll kind of like watch it on my phone, but it's not my main attention.
Okay, that's fair. I am, but in the sense like players I care about or teams I care about, then I care. So I end up having to watch the whole draft because just there's always an Alabama player or the Patriots picking, inevitably trading back. So I'm like, oh, cool. It's like the 10th pick or the 13th pick. I'll be done early. Nope, trading back to 30. Awesome. But if you're a draft person, check out Belly Up Sports 2025 NFL Draft Show. Round 1 starts tomorrow, 8 o'clock. I'll be there for the Patriots pick, actually, giving my analysis on the trade they're going to do or the dumb pick they're going to make. I've talked myself into they're not going to make a good decision with this pick.
Why?
Just a feeling. Because the front office is still there from last year. The team that it came out this week, and this is more NFL talk than we should be doing. They called the Chargers about a trade, or the Chargers called them, and they're like, "Well, are you picking offense or defense?" And the Chargers said, "We're not telling you." And the Patriots said, "Oh, then we're not trading with you." And then a minute later, called back and said, "All right, we'll trade with you." And
the old switcheroo.
The old, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad at us. Please still give us some picks." And then the Chargers took Ladd McConkey, who the Patriots needed a wide receiver. So I'm convinced it's not going to work. Watch me crash out in real time during the Belly Up Sports Draft Show tomorrow at 8. Yeah.
Speaking of draft, really quickly, I just have to say this because I found this so funny. But BetMGM tweeted out, sources say that the NFL teams are losing faith in Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders after finding out that none of his teammates went to his birthday party this year. So, big ups to anybody who didn't attend because I can imagine it was super annoying.
You know Dion would make everyone go to his birthday.
Yeah. It's like that or you're not starting this year or something.
Yeah. Or hit the portal.
Either
go to Shadeur's party or portal time. Yeah. Have you heard any of the draft stuff around him?
I mean, apart from the fact that he's really not that good and he's slipping in the draft order.
Yeah, one GM or scout said it was maybe one of the worst interviews he's done, I think.
Really self-entitled.
Arrogant, lazy, self-entitled. So, yeah. So that'll be fun. But back to college football and the big news from the past week. Kieran and I always say We record Wednesday night. All the news drops Thursday morning. But if we recorded Thursday, everything would come out Friday. So it's not worth changing. But Lee Corso has announced he is stepping down from College Game Day. August 30th will be his last show. He will be 90 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. He's very with it for 90. Also considering he had that stroke 15 years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
So been doing it for over 30 years. Is the big reason why they kind of went out of the studio model they started with. Is it crazy to say he might be one of the most important figures in college football history?
I would argue yes. He made College Game Day what it is. Like, as much as he kind of, the last couple of years has been a lot tougher on him just because he's getting up there and things like that. Overall, as a person, he has made college football so entertaining that it's going to be hard to think of a season where he didn't say or do something insane. Calling the little kid a midget one time.
Yeah.
I know. There's some slip-ups and things like that, but like he himself has been such a monumental figure in the world of college football that it's gonna be sad but necessary to kind of move on.
Yes. An incredible run. The headgear picks, he's 284 and 142 with them.
Wow.
Is a very good record.
Yeah, seriously.
So it's gonna suck to see him go. I think they've done, and we've talked about this for the last 2 years now with the additions they made. I think they've done a good job finding. You can't replace him, so I don't want to say replacements, but fill-ins for the role he provided. Now they did have to go and get multiple people to do that, but I think Game Day will still be fine, but it's going to be very different. And I know they were sort of easing us into it by sort of having him, he'd be on every couple weeks during COVID. He'd just call in with the video call, but it's still going to suck.
Yeah. Yeah. He was that sort of charismatic grandfather-like figure that you just loved listening to. Like, all I can picture now is like Reese Davis introducing the crew on a crisp, cold October morning in Saturday, prime tailgate weather, and I hear Lee Corso talk about whatever. And I wouldn't even necessarily be paying attention, but I'm just kind of like absorbed into the moment. Like, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, and at some point, it'd be background noise.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be like, oh, I have to get like this stuff done before kickoff, but you'd still just have it on, and you'd stop, you'd watch for a second whenever he'd start talking, and then you go back to what you were doing. And it's going to suck. Getting old sucks, Kieran.
Yeah.
All our childhood people are retiring.
Yeah, seriously. It's a weird thing to have to deal with.
But the fact that he was still doing it, and obviously he had his moments where you could tell his age, but he was still very much with it. And for 89, that's very impressive.
It is.
And yeah, it's going to suck. He will, I'm pretty sure I mentioned, he will have turned 90 by the time his last episode is.
Yeah.
So it's going to suck. Lee, we're going to miss you. And
seriously.
Yeah.
It's a sad day, but a day that needs to come. Hopefully it goes out with a bang. Another headgear pick 100% has to happen. If the other team doesn't throw it purely to make the last one to win, they should be banned. SMU death penalty banned.
That's true. I believe they're going to be I think they announced Texas, Ohio State.
By Ohio State. It's been nice knowing.
Yep. Ohio State, Texas is what Wikipedia is telling me. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how to move on to this next topic, Kieran. It's tough to move to any topic, really. But I'm not talking about this for right after. I think Lee Corso is also retiring because of the state of college football.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also
Arkansas has announced they're going to start enforcing NIL buyouts after Madden Iamaleava left to go to UCLA. And I saw some reports they're asking for $200,000 back from the guy. This is necessary, but I hate to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly, this is not a solution without a problem. There's very much a problem. This will cause issues. I think this is not the last time we're going to hear about this going on, where a kid commits to a school, waits to get their NIL money, and then goes to a school they really wanted to instead.
This is going to be for the listeners. For the people that don't understand the situation, can you give a brief synopsis of like what this kind of entails?
Oh, we talked about Nico last week. We didn't talk about Madden. Yeah. Nico Iamaleava transferred from Tennessee to UCLA. UCLA quarterback Joey Aguilar actually transferred from UCLA to Tennessee. That's not important to this, but fun fact. First trade in college football history. Madden Iamaleava was committed to UCLA, flipped on signing day to Arkansas, waited to get his NIL money, and then decided to transfer to UCLA. And now Arkansas, rightfully so, is pissed. Okay, and what were your thoughts on Madden Iamaleava transferring and also Arkansas's reaction?
Justifiable for Arkansas fans. Iamaleava, I mean, they're brothers, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make that clear because I was
that's
confused.
A valid question. If you're not,
I saw that headline first of all, and I go, I thought his name was Nico a second ago, and why is it Arkansas? And then I looked it up and I realized, but this is not unforeseen. This is probably foreseen by somebody, but not talked about enough. So it's a bit of the consequences of your actions, or unintended consequences of your actions. Yes, NIL is great. Players are getting money. They help drive revenue for the school. They should get a cut of that. Whatever. The fact of the matter is that if you're basing where you're going on money, you have to play for that team or you don't get the money. It's a simple transaction, right? I am going to produce offense on the field or defense or whatever. I am going to do X number of things and I get X number of dollars. But if you don't do that, you don't just magically get money. Nobody's just going to give you things. So I think it's ridiculous that this situation has happened, but Arkansas is well within their rights to ask for that money back.
Yeah, and I'm curious if the NCAA is going to do anything, because technically these schools aren't even supposed to be paying players currently.
Mm-hmm.
So are they just going to go, well, you broke the rules anyway. We're not really enforcing it, but we're not going to help you. Or if they're going to step in, try to do something to stop this. And
for, like we've said a million times, they're going to be a day late and $1 short. The punishment's not going to fit the crime. You know, they've dropped the ball. They are going to do everything too late for their own good.
They're going to wait 4 years until Madden's out of eligibility and then ban him from college football.
Yeah,
that's basically what the NCAA does.
Yeah.
A little bow tie on the Nico situation. Reportedly, he was asking for $4 million from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
There were also reports he got $1.5 million from California or from UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an even bigger drop off because Tennessee doesn't have a state income tax. California very much does.
So feel ridiculous now, Nico. Dumbass.
He really shot himself in the foot. And yeah, so I'm hoping this doesn't start a trend, but it's going to. This is going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of continuously doing stupid things, more Carson Beck and one of the Cavinder twins drama. I don't really know which is which still.
That's how you segue. That's how you segue. More ridiculous nonsense.
The big news, though, is Apparently, Carson Beck is just slanging meat, Kieran. He's hanging dog.
Can we say that on this?
Yeah, I haven't said a bad word. I'm
I
talking
mean,
about his
right.
penis. Because that's the only way I can think that he's getting dates to anything. He's rich. So are the Cavinder twins. They're making plenty of money. He looks like Sid from Ice Age, so he's clearly not a looker. He's a mid quarterback at best. But it came out, the Cavinder did not dump him for cheating. She dumped him because nobody liked him. Not her friends, not her family, nobody on campus, nobody on the team, apparently.
Shocker.
Yeah, it's a super shocking situation. The guy who looks like a smug prick, that I don't know if we can say, ended up being one who nobody wants to hang out with.
It's almost as if this money has gone to his head.
That's true. You can actually see where it went to his head because his head kind of goes.
Yeah, it just tilts out. Yeah, it's all locked up.
All up there.
Temporal lobe. Yeah.
Do you see any universe where this move to Miami works out?
Yes, in the universe of parallel dimensions where he becomes attractive and is just passing for 400 plus yards a game.
And is loyal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if he tears his ACL week 1 and their backup's actually really good.
That's another alternative, yeah.
So yeah, it's congrats, Miami. Back to the bottom of the ACC.
Shout out, Jared.
Shout out, Jared. I love whenever we talk about Miami, especially when we're talking bad about them. Shout out, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, come on. He's part of this.
I haven't gotten an angry text from him about that, so I'm assuming he just has not listened to the last couple weeks.
That's his fault, not ours.
He'll also be on the Belly Up NFL Draft Show tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I'm just going to plug that this whole episode, Kieran. People are going to be so annoyed. Speaking of annoying people, do you hear some of our comments from one of our TikToks?
No.
Oh, but it's so funny.
All right. Reel them off.
It's just 2, because I posted when we were talking about UCF.
Mm-hmm.
One comment, which isn't as funny as when you texted me that one of your family members said about tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
But someone, please make podcast equipment more expensive.
Yeah, okay.
Not great. I responded, buddy, we'd still be making the same content. It'd just be way worse audio quality. And then, yes, because I'm going to take shit from a podcast with no following base at all. It's follower base, by the way. I just had to correct them. Just another set of guys who think they can talk ball. We did not talk ball at all during that. We were just talking about the school and the team.
Yeah, we were having a bit of fun, and you guys just ended being front end of the.
Yeah.
We
did it for everyone. We're going to do it for Penn State today. We're going to do it for Alabama next week. We're open. We're equal opportunists here.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? One of our most popular things recently was me going off on Penn State. And I'm a loyal Penn State fan. I love Penn State, but goddamn do they piss me off. But that was one of the most popular things because I railed on them like I should have because they deserve it.
Yeah, no, we recognize that our schools sometimes do dumb things, and we're going to make fun of it. We're also going to make fun of every other school.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of cool things, the 2026 Aer Lingus Classic has been announced.
Yes, let's go.
UNC versus TCU in 2026, opening the season over in Dublin. It's the first international game for both schools, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I also think this just seems like something like Bill Belichick would join college only to do this.
Yep, I was going to say the exact same thing. This has Bill Belichick's checklist written all over it because this is the exact sort of thing that would happen, that his school gets picked to go to, he could have gone anywhere, to any school, and they would have been chosen because as far as I'm concerned, the Patriots have never played in Ireland, but they have played in England, I think. I might be wrong.
They've played in England and Germany.
Germany. Thank
but
you.
he was gone, I believe, by the time they played.
No,
Germany.
yeah, correct. But I just meant the Patriots, because that's where he spent 90% of his time. But yeah, this is such a I don't want to say a classic Bill Belichick thing, but a thing that would happen to Bill Belichick. That he's going to Ireland, and you'll probably see him like at a hurling or Gaelic football match the week prior.
Oh yeah,
and I feel like he's not much of a Guinness guy. I feel like he's either a Smithwick's Red Ale or a Murphy's guy.
I was going to go with a Smithwick's.
Yeah, he seems more like a Smithwick's guy.
Also, apparently no team has played in Ireland. The Steelers are playing the NFL's first game in Dublin this year.
NFL was like,
yes.
Hang on, we had one. It was Georgia Tech last year.
Yeah, it's a lot of teams. They're playing Croke Park though. That's kind of cool.
That's dope. Yeah,
so that'd be fun. But yeah, it's a very Bill thing, and like you said, it was one of his check marks. He had to get off. He looked at his to-do list one. He's like, all right, get a ridiculously age inappropriate girlfriend, check. Get away from Bob Kraft, check. Play football in Ireland. All right. And he did it. He's 3 for 3.
Batting 1,000.
I'm happy for him, even though him and his girlfriend still make me uncomfortable.
I might have to go to that. We should go.
We should go?
We should go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we're making the plan now. This is being recorded. We have said it and we have agreed, and we have to hold true to our word.
For my 30th birthday, I wanted to go to Tuscaloosa with a bunch of friends for an Alabama game. I might say screw that and just go to Ireland with you for this game.
Well, I don't want to take up your birthday, but we might.
Yeah, that's fine. You only turned 30 once.
Yeah, well, that's true. The worst places to go.
A way worse place to go. We could be going to Iraq. Or anywhere in the Middle East right now. All right. Speaking of bad places to go, we're going to talk about the middle of this country. Washington State, that was really mean. I apologize.
No, that was great. That was great.
I still have issues with Kansas. Kansas sucks. I'm pulling up the quote. Washington State President Elizabeth Cantwell, who is new, she just started, said she wants to keep the Pac-12 in the West, honoring its namesake, its history, and student athletes' time. Full quote, I really would like to see a successful, at least high, mid-tier conference that doesn't send student athletes all over the country. Let's say west of the Mississippi. Or let's say on the Mississippi. Okay, so do you want to keep it on the West or do you want to go to the Mississippi River? Because you can't have it both ways, Liz. And like, here's the schools on the Mississippi River, Kieran. Minnesota, Iowa, Arkansas State, Memphis, Ole Miss, Louisiana Monroe, Louisiana Lafayette, LSU, and Tulane. Do any of those scream West Coast to you?
Not at all. In fact, I think those schools should break off from their conference and form a new Mississippi River Conference.
Oh.
That would be fun. You have to travel everywhere to all your games by steamboat.
Okay, I wasn't sold because I figured every year it'd be Ole Miss or LSU winning, but I'm sold now.
Yeah.
So make it a thing. Make it happen.
Once again, this is the podcast where we spout ideas and the NCAA needs to take us up on them because they're genius ideas.
Oh, they're such good ideas. Viewership would be through the roof. Speaking of viewership, ESPN has floated some new qualifiers for the college football playoffs. One of them being TV ratings. So if a lot of people watch your games, you just get to the college football playoffs. Can ESPN have some shame? Like, I know they want all this for money. Can they try to hide the fact it's for money?
Yeah, please.
It's It's bad. I hate it. If they actually do this, college football is already dead because of the contracts. It will be buried if they do TV ratings for the playoffs.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's like taking a 10-2 Iowa, who's made it into the Big Ten Conference championship game, and saying, "Oh yes, a 7-5 LSU team is certainly better." No, they aren't. They just objectively, they're not better. It will be a better game if Iowa's in it. You do not get to discount the fact that Iowa has a smaller alumni population and population in general and discount them from the college football playoff just because there's less people. This is like the House of Representatives or the Senate all over again. Everybody gets a fair shot. Every state gets a fair shot. Every college football team should get a fair shot.
Yeah, and they've already cut out teams for arbitrary reasons in the history of the college football playoffs. So just putting TV ratings on there is basically, oh, your team's not very popular, but you ran through your conference. Sorry.
Yeah.
11-2 Alabama had the most TV viewership, had the highest TV viewership. So they're in. Better luck next year. Get more fans. But we are fans of teams that would benefit from this.
Oh, 100%. And that's why we're so against it. Like, yes. Don't get me wrong. Penn State and Alabama have some of the largest fan bases in the country. There's no denying that, right? Penn State's certainly not the biggest, but it's certainly up there. But I can't consciously say that a 9-3 Penn State deserves to be in a better spot than, I don't know, just using a random team, Oklahoma State going undefeated. They're just objectively, they're not better, right? I don't care, yeah, you could argue Penn State had a harder schedule or whatever, but, objectively they're better, so they should get in. So it's ridiculous. And these stupid rules about, oh, the fans care. I would actively boycott and not watch the college football playoff if TV ratings were in any way an objective metric for selection.
I would still watch, but I would be nodding or shaking my head no until the NCAA knew I was opposed to this.
Yes, because they can definitely tell through the camera on your TV.
Yes.
Get your tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I mean, they do monitor us through everything.
Yeah, I know, but
I hate it. All right, moving on to our big topic before I really break out conspiracy theory.
Before we have a crash out midstream.
Yeah. The Big Ten history. Big Ten founded in 1896 in response to the 325 deaths and 1,149 injuries during college football games between 1880 and 1905. It was founded as the Intercollegiate Conference of Faculty Representatives, more commonly known as the Western Conference. Initially made up of Chicago, Illinois, Minnesota, Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Lake Forest College, whatever the hell that is. They met in Chicago. It was called the Big Nine after Iowa and Indiana joined. Nebraska tried to join in 1900, again in 1911. Was told no both times. And then 100 years later, they joined anyway. Michigan was kicked out in 1907 because the conference said you can only play 5 games and players can only have 3 years of eligibility. Then Ohio State joined in 1912. Michigan rejoined in 1916. Chicago left in 1940. Penn State joined in 1990, did not start playing until 1993. For football, 91-92, they did play other sports. Nebraska, Maryland, and Rutgers joined in 2010 to 2014. And then in 2024, you had all the Western Conference, or West Coast schools, excuse me. I cannot
talk. The undesirables.
Yeah. I don't even want them there. But Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA. To get us to our final number of 18 schools in the Big Ten Conference. That still bothers me every time.
Which?
The fact that it's the Big Ten.
Yeah.
This many. And there's 18 schools.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The SEC makes sense. The ACC makes sense. Pac-12,
I mean,
Big 12.
The ACC does not make sense.
Well, it made sense, but the Big 10 and the Big 12 didn't even make sense before this all conference realignment happened.
Yeah, it's gross.
Just call it what it is. The Midwest plus Pennsylvania.
Big Ten and Friends, I think, is what you recommended when we.
That's right. Yeah, I remember
that. So, as always, though, this is based on conference standings from last year. What order we go in? It has nothing to do with how I view the teams. First up, Oregon. They joined in 2024. They have one Big Ten championship. They're 7-18, 5-12, and 46 in their history. 17-20 in bowl games. No claim natties. And they have one Heisman winner, Marcus Mariota, in 2014.
No
Kieran,
claim natties because they blew it.
That's true. Who roots for Oregon?
Anybody who likes Nike as a product and anybody who's a big fan of Mallard Ducks.
It's true. I was going to go fashionistas.
Oh, good one.
Who just kind of like a bunch of different uniform combinations. And also people who think very highly of themselves, but they don't really have anything to show for it.
Interesting.
Because Oregon fans like putting them up there with not quite the Alabamas of the world and not even the Georgias, but like Clemson. Schools in that tier, they like putting themselves in that conversation when they have no natties.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Next up, Penn State. Joined in 1990, but as I said, they did not start playing football until 1993. They have 4 Big Ten championships, one in 94, 05, 08, and 2016. They are 9-21, 404, and 37 overall. They are 32, 21, and 2 in bowl games, 2 claimed national titles, one in 1982, one in 1986. And they have one Heisman winner. Kieran, who is it?
John Cappelletti.
There we go. Did you know that going in, or are you looking at the sheet?
No, I knew that going in.
Okay.
I'm not that bad.
No,
I'm pretty bad. I'm not that bad.
I did not expect you to win. It was just so long ago. Kieran, besides redheads, who roots for Penn State?
The 500,000 alumni that went there. No, I'm kidding. That's a little unfair because I'm going to be biased, but anybody who really is an upstanding moral citizen who enjoys engineering and the best of farmland. That's such a bullshit answer.
I didn't know Jerry Sandusky liked
engineering
or was an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a fan. He was just there.
Based solely on vibes, drunks.
Yeah.
That's not alcoholic.
That's pretty fair.
Drunks.
Yeah. You do know how to throw down. That's one thing.
Yeah, it's people who really like whites. Sorry, whiteouts. You could also say that about a lot of
people
SEC
who
schools, though.
People who like stealing cheers from other schools that had it before them. The We Are chant.
That's true. And I'm not gonna make that joke. That's a bridge too far. Next up, Indiana. We're just gonna move on before I say something wildly offensive. Joined in 1900. Well, they joined in 1899, but for the 1900 season, they have 2 Big Ten championships, one in 1945, one in 1967. They're 5-14, 7-19, and 46 overall. They are 3-11 in bowl games. No claimed Heismans, or no claimed natties, no Heismans. Basketball fans.
Yes.
And bandwagons who just became a fan last year.
Yeah, and anybody who likes stripes.
That's true. Stripes are neat.
Yeah.
Next up, the Ohio State University. Joined in 1912. They have 39 Big Ten championships. They are 978, 335, and 53 overall. 30 and 29 in bowl games. They have 9 claimed national titles, one in 1942, one in 1954, one in 1957, one in 1961, 1970, 2002, 2014, and 2024. They have, I think, 7 Heisman Trophy winners. Les Horvath in 1944, Vic Janowitz in 1950, Howard Cassaday in 1955, Archie Griffin in 74 and 75. 75 was not deserved. Eddie George in 95, and Troy Smith in 2006. People who have a trust fund, but like saying they did it all on their own.
They're working class, yeah.
Yeah. Also, people who like infidelity and kicking their kickers.
Anybody who is a fan of another collegiate program within Ohio, but since they can't actually win anything, they default to Ohio State.
That's a good one. That's fair. That was way less mean towards Ohio State than I thought we were going to be.
Well, yeah, but I can't say those things anymore. So, I had to
that's
internalize it.
That's fair.
We are legally not allowed to say them anymore.
We haven't signed anything yet, buddy. We can say whatever the hell we want. I'm going to bleep that.
Yeah.
Illinois joined in 1896, excuse me. They have 15 Big Ten championships. They are 645, 625, and 50 overall. They are 9 and 12 in bowl games. They have 5 claimed national titles, one in 1914, one in 1919, one in 1923, one in 1927, and one in 1951. No Heismans. It's Illinois.
I got nothing here.
I really, really don't have anything. I think this is a first.
Yeah, this really is a first. Dumb name, by the way. The Fighting Illini. Just, you couldn't think of anything else.
I mean,
like it's a vague attempt to mirror Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and it's not even good.
Okay, so your issue was with the fighting part.
What is an Illini? It's somebody from Illinois?
I'm 99% sure it's a Native American. Like a specific
all right.
Native American tribe.
That's actually cool. And I was being what's the word?
The AI is telling me the Illini, also known as the Illinois or Illinois, were a group of Native American tribes in the Mississippi River Valley, primarily in what is now Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa.
All right. So it's kind of cool then. Because I thought it was just somebody from Illinois. So
that's true.
All right. But if it's named after a group of people, that's pretty cool. I was just being ignorant because I didn't know that. No offense intended. Just I didn't know.
Just uneducated.
Yep.
It's Illinoisan, by the way, is the person from Illinois.
Oh, that's arguably worse.
Alternatives: unofficial, Illinoisian, Flatlander, Sucker, Sandhiller, and Egyptian. What?
Egyptian? What?
That's what Wikipedia is telling me. What is going on?
What historical loopholes do you need to jump through to get there?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Yes. Tutankhamun is actually buried in the cornfields.
This nickname referred to the southern end of Illinois. It is thought that the nickname for this fertile soil around Cairo, Illinois, was a reference to the fertile soil or Cairo, Egypt, after the Nile has flooded. The nickname may have also been related to the city name as well. You think? You think that's this? I don't know if that's a real thing, but yeah.
That's hilarious.
Iowa joined in 1900 or 1899. 11 Big Ten championships, 702, 580, and 39 overall, 2018 and 1 in bowl games. 5 claimed natties, one in 1921, 22, 56, 58, and 60. Niall Kinnick is their only Heisman Trophy winner in 1939. People who really like white corners and hate offense.
Yeah, I'll help you with that. Tight ends, defensive ends, so anything ending in the end, and punters.
That's true.
And corn, but that goes without saying.
That's for the whole conference.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair.
I'm not going to make a joke about it, but the Kinnick wave is really cool.
It is very cool.
So I was going to make not a joke, but say like, oh, kids with cancer, but that just sounds
like that would have fell flat.
Yeah. Next up, Michigan joined in 1896, got kicked out in 1907, then rejoined in 1917. They have 45 Big Ten championships, 1,012, 358, and 36 in their team's history, 24 and 29 in bowl games, 7 claimed national titles, 1901, 1902, 1903, 1904, 1918, 1923, 1932, 1933, 47, 48, 97, and 23. Tom Harmon, Desmond Howard, and Charles Woodson are their Heisman Trophy winners. Patriots fans.
Yep, that's a good one. That's
Tom Brady and cheating. That's all you need.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
People who like business casual too. So Harbaugh with his khakis.
Yeah, all right.
Anyone else, Kieran? Am I missing?
I think you've nailed it.
Okay. Next up, Minnesota. Joined in 1896. They have 18 Big Ten championships there, 735, 545, and 44 overall. 13 and 2 in bowl games. 7 claimed national titles, 1904, 1934, 1935, 1936, 1940, 1941, and 1960.
I got it.
Okay.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Yep. No more needs to be said. Canadians.
I feel like old people too, who are like 80, 90 plus.
Yeah.
Because Minnesota was sort of a power then.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
yeah, also anybody who works on an oil rig, Minnesota.
That's true. All right. Next up, USC. Joined in 2024. They have no Big Ten championships. They're 882, 374, and 54 overall, 36 and 20 in bowl games. They have, that is not correct. Okay, they have 11 claimed national titles. 1928, 1931, 1932, 1939, 62, 67, 72, 74, 78, 2003, and 2004. They also have 8 Heisman Trophy winners. Mike Garrett in 1965, O.J. the Murderer Simpson in 1968, Charles White in 1979, Marcus Allen in 1981, Carson Palmer in 2002, Matt Leinart in 2004, Reggie Bush in 2005, and Caleb Williams in 2022. Liberals.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to Liberals and Heisman winners.
Yeah.
Or fans of Heisman winners, I should say.
And people who allegedly murdered their ex-wife.
Yeah. We might get something for that.
He's dead. He can't sue us.
Yeah, but, you know, is it libel? Is it not libel?
I said allegedly.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to a far less threatening team, Rutgers.
Rutgers joined in 2014. They somehow have won Big Ten championship.
That's wild to me. That's wild. I saw that. I'm like, that's not true.
I did do this on my lunch break.
No,
but
No, I mean, I find it, that's so wild to me that I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, 2012. Wait, no, they weren't in the Big Ten. I messed up.
Okay.
They were in the Big East that year. They have 0. Sorry, Rutgers, for taking away your Big Ten championship. They're 678, 742 in their program history, 7-6 in bowl games, 1 claimed national title in 1869.
I mean, in fairness, they were one of the first schools to play football, so give them that.
Do you want to know their record that year?
1-2.
1-1.
Oh, close enough.
And on aggregate, they had a plus-minus of -6.
Amazing.
They beat Princeton 6-4 and then lost to Princeton 8-0.
Oh, not a good look.
No. They were also a national champion that year, Princeton.
Shocker.
Yeah. The 2 teams. Why did they name a champion that year?
I don't know. Information traveled slowly, so they both claimed it, and it got to the offices at the same time.
Yeah, Kira, there were 2 teams.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a joke. There were no other teams.
Yeah, they were both in New Jersey.
Retroactive, that's lame. Rutgers, we're taking that away from you too. You have nothing.
You have a losing record and no championships.
But somehow above 500 record in bowl games.
Yeah.
Who
are you?
Roots? Is the answer nobody?
Yeah, I think so. Because I was going to say New Jersey Jewish moms, but I think they would root for Princeton in that case. So they wouldn't root for Rutgers. So yeah. Nobody roots for Rutgers.
No.
Tough shit.
Alexi Lawless, maybe?
Ugh. Oh, yeah. God. Why would you even want him? Why would you be like, if I was Rutgers, I'd be like, no, thank you. I'm good.
They have nothing else, Kieran. They have Alexi Lawless.
Oh, God.
And that's it.
The worst soccer announcer.
Yeah. It's very much a shame that he is one of the better U.S. soccer players ever. In terms of U.S. soccer play, not
as a whole. Yeah.
Anything else.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Washington. Joined in 2024. No Big Ten champions. 781, 467, and 50 overall. They're 21-21-1 in bowl games. They have 2 claimed natties, one in 1991 and 1960, and no Heisman Trophy winners.
People who like dogs, specifically Huskies.
Yeah, it's true. People who like nepotism.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's son, Steve, defensive coordinator.
People who want to throw up a W undeservingly.
Yeah, that too. People who like getting dominated in the college football playoffs, because I think they have like 2 appearances, and I think they lost both badly. 24-7 to Alabama in 2016, and 34-13 to Michigan in 2023.
Ouch.
So, yeah. Next up, Nebraska. 2011, they joined. No championships in the Big Ten. 924, 420, and 40 overall. 27-27 in bowl games. 5 claimed natties. 1970, 1971, 94, 95, 97. 3 Heisman Trophy winners: Johnny Rodgers, Mike Rozier, and Eric Crouch. People who think the best point in world history was the mid-90s.
Yeah. That's it's hard to debate that point, or even add to it.
People like corn. It's in their name.
Again, yeah, that's kind of ubiquitous. People who like a mid-school that gets hot for a string of years and then never is basically wiped off the face of the planet.
Yeah. Nebraska's mascot creeps me out.
Why?
Hang on. It's off-putting. It's just, I think it's the smile.
Yeah.
Also
fair.
the fact it's a man. Like, it's just a guy. Lil Red also creeps me out.
Yeah, but far less intimidating. Like, the first one is nightmare paralysis. This guy is just, a non-violent Chucky.
I think that's why it creeps me out. Like, it's giving killer doll vibes.
All right. Well, the other one, It looks like that guy's eyes will just turn red and feel like
he'll just go to killing spree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've heard of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now it gets ready for Lincoln, Nebraska Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, any other fans?
No, I think we got all 4 of them.
All right, perfect. Next up, Michigan State joined in 1953. They have 9 Big Ten championships. They are 733, 490, and 44 overall. 14-6 in bowl games. 6 claimed national titles: 1951, 1952, 55, 57, 65, and 66. No Heisman Trophy winners. Little brothers.
Yes, exactly. And
really
anybody who grew up in the childhood, and their childhood was between 1950 and 1966. Dominant years.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's it. So the olds and little brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, UCLA 2024. No Big Ten championships. 637, 446, and 37 overall. 17, 20, and 1 in bowl games. 1 claimed natty in 1954. Who could forget Gary Babin, 1967 Heisman Trophy winner, quarterback? People who have commitment issues.
Yep. Communists.
I'd say more socialists. A little lesser so.
Yeah, so USC is liberals, UCLA is socialists, Cal is communists. We got that right? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
We got the left side of the spectrum down, and then next week with the SEC, we'll go over the right side of the spectrum.
Yeah, we'll hit them all. Just throwing that out there. Anybody who likes Bears?
That's true.
I mean, the Bruins, our Bruins. When I say our Bruins, Boston Bruins, because that's where we grew up. Bears are cool. State flag has a bear on it. Anybody who likes Bears?
People who went to buy a Red Sox City Connect hat and got confused.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
And they just decided that's their life now.
Yep. That's a good one.
All right. Next up, we're nearing the end, Kieran. Next up, Wisconsin. Joined in 1896, 14 Big Ten championships. They are 744, 519, and 53 overall. They are 19-16 in bowl games. They have 0 national titles. But I have a note on here. We've been talking the last few weeks. It seems everyone claims a national title in 1942.
Okay. So we're just going to drop it in here.
Wisconsin has an unclaimed one from 1942, and I respect it so much, I'm going to count it as a national title for them.
I'll do it. Yeah. Sounds good.
Just while everyone else claimed it, they're like, no, there's too many of them. Heisman Trophy winners, Alan Amish in 1954 and Ron Dane in 1999. Corn-fed country boys, Kieran.
Yep. Corn-fed country boys, wrestlers, tough old bastards, and anybody who likes Badgers, really.
It's true.
Yeah. Tough little buggers. I like Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin as a state. I lose respect for them because they won't invade that little peninsula that currently belongs to Michigan. I feel like that's cowardly. But other than that, good state.
Yeah. beer, cheese, and big
drunkest
football players.
They have the top 2 or top 5 drunkest counties in the U.S.
Have you seen the map? It's like a county by county breakdown of the drunks in this country. And it's like, I know what you're talking. I know it's like related to that.
Yeah.
There's like a couple here and there in Massachusetts, a couple in the South. Utah is like pure white. And then Wisconsin, just the whole thing is dark blue.
Yeah. That's such a funny metric. Beer drinkers as well. Going off the drunk thing, beer drinkers. If anything, Penn State are drunks. Wisconsin are beer drunks.
Yes. I would say Wisconsin makes Penn State look like Utah.
Yep, that's fair.
All right. I think we're down to our last 2. Kieran.
3.
3? Oh, yeah, Northwestern. They're irrelevant. We don't. Northwestern, 1896. They have 8 Big Ten championships, 566, 702, and 44 overall. 7-10 in bowl games. Nerds, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody who likes the color purple, maybe?
That's true. But also, if you like purple, you'll just root for LSU.
Yeah.
They're at least better. All right. Finally, our 2. Now I'm right. Maryland joined in 2014. No Big Ten championships. 677, 624, and 43 overall. 14, 14, and 2 in bowl games. A 1953 natty on their resume. The kid from the viral video who likes turtles.
Anybody who's a big turtle fan, yeah. Anybody who likes fun-colored or fun flags.
Well, fun is subjective. There are some people who hate that flag.
I have to say, it's by far the coolest state flag. I have to say, it's better than literally everything.
It's unique.
I'll give them that. It's better.
I'm trying to think of the other.
Look, they've got nothing else going on, especially we're not even talking about college football anymore. They just have a cool flag.
Maryland has a lot going on.
What? They're 14 and 14 in 2 bowl games.
Yeah.
It's okay. Anyway.
Also, changing from the script Terps to the M logo was a terrible choice.
Yes, it was.
It was fine. Oh, people like wearing sunglasses inside.
Yes, of course.
How could I forget NFL legend Scott Zolak?
Oh crap! You just had one for me, and I've completely forgotten it now. Damn it! Never mind.
All right, moving on to our last school, Purdue. Joined in 1896, they have 8 Big Ten championships, 642, 608, and 48 in their program history. 11 and 10 in bowl games. No Heisman Trophy winners. No natties.
Engineers.
It's just, is the Big Ten just an engineering conference?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the engineering conference. It really is. It's ridiculous. And Penn State has a great one. Michigan does. Ohio State, reluctantly, I'll say. Michigan State definitely does. Northwestern absolutely has. Purdue, obviously. Yeah. It's a lot of them.
You could ask me about the academics about any SEC school, and I would not be able to tell you, even the one I attended. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, the Big Ten does produce a lot of engineers.
I feel like that also really makes sense for our conferences. You went to a Big Ten school, you know about academics. I went to an SEC school. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I went to class sometimes.
Yeah. I'll tell you after this recording, I'll tell you a fun story about skipping class.
No, do it on the show, Kieran.
Do it on the show? All right. I'll make this short and sweet. Economics, first year, 700 kids. I it was the easiest class. I felt like, I can't be bothered with this. It was a beautiful, sunny spring day. And it was 8 a.m. And I'm like, I do not want to go to this class. And a foreign exchange student was dorming with me. And he said, do your parents help you pay for this? And I said, yeah, they do actually. And then they said, think of how disappointed your dad would be if you didn't go to class. And I wanted to wring his neck. He was right, but I wanted to kill him. I'm like, damn it. All right, I'll go. And it's a simple anecdote, but that's just what skipping class is.
I still would have skipped class.
I know you would have, but I didn't.
Maybe that's why both my parents abandoned me.
Well, this has now become a therapy session. Thank you all for...
It's cheaper than therapy, as my wife always says.
There we go.
I'll just stick with engineers, I guess. And the third best quarterback of the 2000s. In the NFL. I'm talking Drew Brees.
Of course. All right. I have my list to wrap things up here. And I will say, I found it more difficult to do my own conference because when we were first doing this, I didn't really have to think about it. I just had to rattle off things and I thought they were funny, but this is a little bit more serious, I guess. So we have blue bloods, and you can feel free to debate me on any of these. Michigan, OSU, Nebraska, Indiana, and Penn State. Other than that, not really blue bloods. You could argue one or the other two, like Indiana, because they've been in this conference so long. Northwestern, you could argue, but they haven't had like truly winning records to make them blue bloods. So those are the blue blood categories. Yes, go on.
Is this Big Ten blue bloods or national blue bloods?
Big Ten blue bloods only, because that's the conference. Yeah.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. There's lots of other ones. This purely Big
Ten. Well, if it was national, we were taking some of those out.
Oh, yeah. This is just Big Ten. Group 2. Pac-12 traitors. USC, Washington, Oregon, and UCLA. Third grouping, just happy to be involved. Purdue, Rutgers, Northwestern, and Maryland. The Battle of Mid, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan State. Fun ruiners is the next category, OSU and Purdue. And second to last category, Ryan Day's Nightmares, Michigan, and a cold Friday, October night in West Lafayette. Shout out Purdue. And then the final category, punts, which ironically is not just Iowa. It is also Purdue. Both had 64 punts last year, topping the Big Ten. Thank you.
That's my favorite part of these episodes, Kieran, and I want you to know that.
Good. I'm glad.
They're also my wife's favorite part of these episodes.
Oh, good.
Not when her husband talks. When you categorize these schools.
What was it?
Not when her husband talks. When you categorize these schools. All right. So there you have it. There's our show discussing the history of the Big Ten and their schools. You can follow us at Quad Tailgate on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out the Belly Up Sports NFL Draft Show tomorrow at 8:00. I will be on for the Patriots pick. And anything else, Kieran? Anything we want to plug? Anything we want to talk about before we get on out of here?
I think that's it. Just a couple more weeks.
Yeah. All right. SEC next week, and then random schools after that. We'll do the independents. We'll do some major group of 5 schools. And then, Kieran, we're going to have to actually start planning out topics again, which I am dreading. This has been a wonderful last couple of weeks where I just know what we're talking about.
It'll be good.
All right. Yeah, we'll think of something. Goodbye.
Yeah.
They're eating the dogs, Kieran, in Tuscaloosa.
They're eating the dogs.
You know that?
They were eating
the dogs.
Oh, a meth raccoon.
Yeah.
Just awful. There is nothing good about this. It's the worst possible scenario for the CFP, for the national championship.
Notre Dame is a mid-program with really good marketing.
And the Michigan players are going to look at that, and anybody who's committing to Michigan in the next years and just go, I want to beat them even more. Like, I wanted to beat them when I first came to this school. Recruits are going to see this.
And we're also sorry that you have to watch a Brian Kelly coach football team. We can only imagine how difficult that must be for you, knowing that you're not going to win a big game ever with him as your coach, and that you're rooting for a child murderer.
This podcast has gone off to a really weird start, but I like it.
I love it, though. I'm a big fan.